Manchester United 2, Sheffield 1. If you just hear about the score, right, you might think that this was a really exciting match. But no, it was such a boring, disappointing, and slow match. I can't believe it. We spent the starting of the whole season playing bad football. Then we finally had a good game against Brentford. Then we had to wait again for 2 weeks for football. And now, when the tier football has finally returned, we again see a really, really disappointing performance from Manchester United. Before I talk more about the match, I just want to talk about Sir Bobby Charlton. Sir Bobby Charlton has sadly passed away. He is a legend of a club. He won multiple Premier League titles. He won the World Cup. He won the UEFA Champions League, and he has also won the Ballon d'Or. He is one of the best Manchester United players, and he still holds the second most appearances for the club and the second highest goal scorer for a club. He's an irreplaceable legend, and he will be sadly missed. Rest in peace, legend. With the passing of Sir Bobby Charlton, there was a hope that it would inspire the players to put their best performance. But it just feels like all of the games this season, there's just no chemistry in the team. For the first 20 minutes, we were getting dominated by Sheffield United. Can you do you realize how crazy that is? Sheffield United is the bottom club of the league. They have lost seven, drawn one. And they are the team who play the most deepest football. Like they are the most defensive in their own half team. And yet they were the team which were dominating United, attacking more, having more possession. So it's just the same old story. Because of the injuries, we just have no balance in the team. Lindelof is playing left back, Maguire Evans at centre back, Amrabat in midfield. But the balance shifted because McTominay and Bruno were both playing as cams. It wasn't like McTominay was playing as a number 8 and helping Amrabat. No, he was just pressing forward along with Bruno. So that's why Amrabat was left alone in that center of the midfield and he kept getting overrun. Every attack shift being made in the first 20 minutes, first half an hour, it was because Amrabat was getting outnumbered in the midfield. He was always surrounded by two or three people and they were just running past him. He couldn't do anything. So I think that's a problem which will continue to happen until we get more better players. So not only was our midfield imbalance, our defense imbalance because we don't have any fullbacks, left fullbacks especially, but our attack is just out of focus, out of cohesion. You know, a very interesting stat. We only have 9 goals in 8 games. We have a conversion rate of 1 goal from 14 shots, which is the worst in the league. That's how bad our attack is performing. At least last year, we were scoring a lot of goals, but this year we only have 9 goals from 8 games. It is one of the worst in the league and really disappointing given the talents we have. The thing is, I don't understand why is there so much problem. I understand that there are injuries, but even with the injuries, they shouldn't be this bad. That we're struggling against relegation battling teams. We struggle against Sheffield United, against Burnley, against Wolves on the opening day. I just hope that when we get our injured players back, like we get Shaw or Malacia or Reguilon back, that it will just give us more depth on the left side, which will help Rashford flourish. Because if Rashford plays well, the whole United attack team will do well. Rashford did have a few chances this game. When Anthony won the ball, passed it to Bruno, Bruno passed it to him, and he just shot wide. Then Hoyland also had a very, very close miss, where he lunged at the ball and keeper saved his with his right hand. But the thing is, we weren't threatening that much. Outside of like 3 or 4 chances, the game was dead. It's because we are passing too slowly and there's like no creativity in the final third. We just get to the final third and the players seem out of ideas, which is so disappointing to see. This team is like a lot of Bollywood. So much money has been spent to make it, but they're shit to watch. That's how this team feels. Even with the talents, even with the age profile, even with the opponents who are like relegation battling team, we still only made like three or four proper chances in the game. The goal that McTominay scored, I think that was a really good goal because I don't know what was Bruno doing with that pass. But McTominay controlled it well and took a scuffed shot, but at least he shot and it went in. I think he's just in that form where whatever he does, it might just go into the goal. But that's the problem. Outside of the goal, McTominay statistically completed only 8 passes out of 9. He only attempted 9 passes until the 60th minute when he was subbed off. So that is really, really, really awful from a midfield player. 8 passes when you're playing the center of the midfield. So that's why McTominay can only be an impact player for us. He cannot start every game. The game turned. I mean, let's talk about the penalty as well. I think that's an obvious penalty, right? Because he was moving towards the ball and then he moved his hand towards it as well. But what I have the problem with is how was McTominay given a penalty against? And then earlier in the Merseyside derby, we saw Keane getting a penalty as well. But when we had a chance for a penalty in the Crystal Palace game or in the Spurs game, we don't get penalties. So I think that there is an obvious agenda against Manchester United. But besides that, when McTominay got subbed off because he was just invisible the whole game, and Eriksen came on, Garnacho came on, and Martial came on, that's when I think the player was more aggressive, the team was more attacking. Because Eriksen, the quality of Eriksen is that he cannot play the full game at this current pace. He's just too slow for it. But when you bring him on late into the game, he's a game changer because he can control possession so well. He can control possession, he can spot passes, he can keep the ball, he can spray it out wide. He's really important for the team. And Garnacho brought to the team was what Rashford was missing, aggressiveness. He had Garnacho had three or four counter attacking chances. He missed all of them. It was all his fault. But at least he makes those chances happen. With Rashford, I think there's just a loss of confidence. He just doesn't say like he can score a goal currently. He doesn't have that threat in him, which is a worry because next week we have a game against Manchester City. And if Rashford is not performing well, and if our midfield remains to be as imbalanced as it is right now, we are definitely going to get smashed. I think it might be even a bad score like 5-0 or something because we can't score goals, but at the same time, we have to concede a lot of goals. The second goal we scored, Diogo Dalot, he had a decent game, and the goal he scored was world class. That's the type of goal you score in FIFA. You know, the finish shot, and then you score them. That's the kind of goal you scored, top corner. Beautiful goal. And that's the goal which saved us because if Dalot didn't score that, I think we would have just drawn with Sheffield United, who's 20th in the league. It's just really disappointing. You stay up all night to watch a match, and this is how the team performs. It's demoralizing. Like, why would new younger fans support Manchester United if they keep playing like this? Even me, who has watched them for decades, I'm disappointed. I was really sleepy in between the match, and I have to force myself to stay awake and just complete the match. That's how sad it is. That's how badly this team is playing. Erik Ten Hag is to blame, but I wouldn't say he has to be sacked. To be fair, he hasn't had his best team play the whole season. He hasn't had his preferred starting 11 the whole season. So I can only judge him after he gets his team because how can you judge a team when his defense is not stabilized? A team performs well only if the defense is stabilized, which it currently is not. So let's talk about the defense and let's talk about the players. Onana. He has been under a lot of criticism recently, and I think he definitely has a loss of confidence. But in this match, I think he played well. He wasn't great. He wasn't good. He was just okay. He played well. He made a lot of saves. But the thing is, the saves he made, he spilled them out. Right? He just deflected them right in front of the goal so that a player could maybe tap in. Thankfully, Sheffield aren't that good that they could tap the goal in, but that's always a worry that the saves he was making might just get rebounded to a Sheffield player and they can just shoot it in. But thankfully, that didn't happen. He kept a decent, level-headed performance, good passing, and he made the saves. He didn't make a blender this time at least. Evans and Maguire impressed me again. Maguire, for me, might be the second best player on the pitch today. He dealt with the headers, he dealt with the physicality. He was really good with his long passing. But at the same time, we have to be careful that this was a match which suited Maguire. High balls, slow gameplay, and physicality. That's exactly the type of match Maguire loves. Because if it's a fast match with players running in behind, like let's say Brentford or not Brentford, but like let's say Brighton or let's say Arsenal or let's say Tottenham, then I don't think Maguire can keep up. But at least to his credit in this match, he was really good. He played like a rock. He protected the goal multiple times. He headed the ball and played really good long passes. Evans was also great alongside him. He was also steady. He got injured, which is a worry with the injury crisis again. But yeah, for me, the man of the match is Dalot. Without him, we would have lost the points. He scored a world-class goal. He was steady throughout the whole match. He wasn't great at passing, but defensively, he was all right. Amrabat was struggling in the first half. I can't even lie. But as soon as Eriksen came on, who was playing like a proper number 8, that's when Amrabat showed his qualities of sweeping the balls. Amrabat won all of his ground and a reduce. That's how important he was. And his performance kept getting better and better the longer he played with Eriksen. So Amrabat needs a number 8, just like Casemiro. Casemiro also had the same problem. He was being left alone in the midfield. That's why that's why he kept giving bad performances. If Amrabat or Casemiro plays as number 6, we need a number 8 who can play box to box. Currently, we have an imbalance because the number 8s we have McTominay, Eriksen, Mount. They are more focused on the attack rather than defense. We need someone who can defend and attack with a lot of stamina. Hopefully, Mount can develop into that role because McTominay doesn't have that quality. Eriksen doesn't have the legs. Meno might develop into that player, but he's currently injured and might play soon. So hopefully, we get that number 8 problem solved soon because I do not want to keep watching matches like these over and over again. Bruno seems off form. I don't know what's wrong with him. He played really well in the international break, but when he comes here, his passing is off, his shooting is off. It might be fatigue. So I hope he recovers his form just like with the Rashford. Because without Bruno and Rashford, our attack is dead. If we can substitute them out, then then that can also work. Then just give some rest to these players, Bruno and Rashford especially. Let Mount play in camp or Eriksen play in camp. Then Nacho play on the left wing. And then just hope that the team clicks and we score goals. Hoyland was also playing really well. He held the ball well. He was doing good link up. He even had some good chances. I think he was substituted early because of injury concerns. Because during the international break, San Marino match, the San Marino players were trying to injure him deliberately, like kicking him in the knee, pushing him, shoving him. So I think Ten Hag just took him off to just save him for the Copenhagen match, which makes sense because you're bottom in Champions League as well. Anthony, he had a decent game. He was pressing a lot. He was putting in good crosses. He His shooting was really bad. But for his first start, after a long while, I think he played well because he did provide chances. It's not like he was being selfish with his only shooting inside. He did put in a really good cross, which Rashford put across the box, and Højlund just missed it by a centimeter. So I think there's potential in this team, and this team can win a lot of games again. But that can only happen if we have an injured defense back. If we have our best defense playing, which would be Van Bissaka or Dalot, Varane, Martinez, Shaw, or Malacia, or even Reguilon, like a proper backboard with like Casemiro, Amrabat, Bruno, Rashford, Højlund, Anthony. I think that team can play really well. But that's the issue. We don't know when these players will be back from injury. It might even take till like January or like Feb for these players to come back, which is really concerning because every match looks like a struggle right now. Every match is hard to watch. So I don't know where does Manchester United go from here because next week we have Manchester City. If this current team plays in that match, we are getting demolished 6-0 or something. Hopefully we get at least a left back from injury. I think Malacia was training with the team. So hopefully he's fit again for the City match. So to end the video, I want to again say we will miss Sir Bobby Charlton. He is a legend of the club. He's one of the best players of his generation. He has impacted a lot of United players' careers as well as other players, and he will surely be missed. I hope his soul rests in peace. Goodbye, Sir Bobby Charlton. And moving on from that, I hope the injured players are the key to solve this problem at United. Because if the injured players are not the key, then I think questions need to be asked of Ten Hag and what is he coaching at the club. Because right now there is no style of play, there is no creativity, there is no like quick passing or anything. Our team loses the ball after like 3 passes, or they get to the final third and they can't do anything. So I think there are both problems with Ten Hag and with the team, but let's hope as a United fan that it gets solved soon. If you liked my video, I would really appreciate if you can give me a subscribe as well as like and write a comments in the comments section. I would like to know what did you think of this match. We are also worried about the takeover process and who's going to be the new owner. I have posted a video about it on my channel of how Sheikh Jassim versus how Sir Jim Ratcliffe would turn out for a club. So if you're interested in checking out my view on the takeover, check out my channel. There's a video on that below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.